Samsung Electronics, ticker SSNLF, is accelerating the launch of its first semiconductor fabrication plant to Yongin to 2029, moving up the timeline by 1 or 2 years as demand for AI memory chips continue to surge. On Sunday, Samsung said it now plans to begin operations at its first chip fabrication plant in Yongin, south of Seoul, in 2029 instead of the previously expected 2030 to 2031 timeframe. That was reported by Reuters. A Samsung spokesperson said the company intends to start operations at the facility, quote, 1 to 2 years, end quote, ahead of the original plan. At the time of this writing, Samsung Electronics shares traded down about $172 USD, down 8.86% on the South Korean exchange, according to Benzinga Pro. The announcement follows fresh investment commitments made last month by Samsung and domestic rival SK Hynix, ticker SKHY or SKHYV, to expand semiconductor manufacturing in South Korea after President Lee Jae-myung called for measures to reduce regional economic disparities. Under the government strategy, South Korea aims to double its memory chip production capacity within the next 5 years by accelerating the construction of Samsung and SK Hynix fabrication plants in Yongin while developing a new semiconductor cluster in Gwangju. So, again, going back to the main thesis here, as more capacity comes online and they're able to make more of these chips, you can absolutely assume then that this is going to adjust the calculation for all of these plays. The price of DRAM, the cost of the companies that are making them, the cost the consumer pays at the end of this. Really, the question here is the timeline. They're telling you that they're trying to accelerate their plant, and that won't be available till 2029. Folks, it is midway through 2026. So the reason that this is important is because for companies like SanDisk and Micron, even as they're trying to bring on new capacity, not guaranteed that we're going to see any benefits of that in the near term. And I think that that's one of the reasons, or one of the big levers that we're going to have to watch on any one of these memory trades. Now, for those of you that are long Micron right now, because things have been on an absolute tear and now it's pulling back, I watched the pullback, right? This is all going to be about your risk. It was basically sitting right near the 50-day. Let's see where we're at now. 50 days is about $900. We're $924 here in the pre-market. So we're still actually above the 50-day. And this is a pullback from the high of 1255. Still could be in possible bounce zone, but we'll see. We'll see how it ends up shaking up. Earlier this month, Samsung estimated its April-June operating profit at, I'm just going to do the American numbers here because it's easier. Samsung estimated its April-June operating profit at 58.4 billion USD. That was up from 37.6 billion in the previous quarter and 3.1 billion a year earlier. The company also forecast 112.3 billion in revenue for the quarter. That was compared to 87.9 billion in the first quarter and 49 billion in the same period last year. So Samsung, despite trying to add more capacity and all of that, they're telling you that they're still going to make more money. At least in the near term here, it doesn't look like anything is set to change, at least not yet. Again, something we definitely need to watch. I'm going to for sure stay on top of that